Do animals move from one place to another? Animal mobility. The ability to move is one of the basic needs of animals. They move from one place to another in search of food and shelter, and to escape from predators. Animals are able to move due to the coordination between the muscular and nervous systems and the synergy between them. The nervous system controls the contraction of the body's muscles in terms of amount, type, and position. Thanks to this coordination, the animal is able to move its limbs or its entire body. The method of movement varies according to the environment in which the animal lives. There are animals that move in the water, others in the air, and others on the ground or in trees. Navigating in the water. Many animals live in the water. There are marine mammals, such as whales, and there are many kinds of fish and invertebrate animals of all kinds. The ways that these animals transport themselves differ from one type to another. Some information about the ways of moving some types of animals in the water. Some animals, such as jellyfish, move from one place to another in the water, without the need to use the limbs and muscles, but leave the water take them during its movement. This method is described as passive movement. The animal does not expend any kind of energy to be able to move. Shrimp move from one place to another using small appendages called swimmerets. Marine mammals move in water differently than fish. They move their body as terrestrial mammals do, although they live in water. Dolphins and whales move their tails up and down to be able to swim in the water. This differs from fish that move their tails left and right. Gray seals use their hind fins to push their bodies in the water, and use their front fins to direct their movement in the water. Freshwater mammals, such as otters and beavers, are able to move in the water thanks to the membranes between their toes, and their tails helps them to swim as well. The fish can swim in the water smoothly with its streamlined body and its caudal, pelvic, and pectoral fins. The body of the fish contains a floating bladder. By controlling the volume of air inside, it can float up or dive down. Frogs can swim in the water by spreading their hind legs and pushing themselves into the water, while the water snails swim by moving their bodies in an undulating movement. Water beetles can move around in the water thanks to the rows of bristles that cover their hind legs, which act like a paddle. Water bugs are able to move on the surface of the water due to the air that permeates the dense hairs that cover their legs, which keeps their legs dry. Many microscopic plankton are able to move in the water using cilia, bristles, or appendages that cover their bodies. These appendages include antennas. Air travel. Some types of animals are able to fly and move in the air easily because of their front limbs that have been transformed into wings. These animals include birds and bats. The bodies of these animals have adapted to be able to fly successfully. They have lightweight bones, a large heart, large and strong chest muscles, and a sharp sense of sight. Some animals are able to move through the air despite the fact that they do not have wings. Their movement is described as a kind of gliding and not real flight, such as what birds, bats, and insects do. Examples of this type of movement include some species of fish move in the air, thanks to their wing-like fins. Some types of lizards and frogs are able to glide through the air because there are membranes between their toes. Some types of lizards and snakes are able to glide through the air thanks to their air-inflatable ribs. Some animals, such as flying marsupials, kolan, and flying squirrels, have folds of excess skin between the forelimbs and hind limbs, enabling them to glide from tree to tree. Traveling on land. Many animals live on land. Some of them have limbs that help them to walk, run, and jump, and some of them have no limbs, crawling on the ground. Here are some examples of the ways animals move on land. Crawling. Many living things move by crawling, including the white-tipped snail uses the muscular foot as a crawling organ, and it secretes a sticky salivary substance during its movement that leaves a trail behind it. Snakes move crawling on the ground with the help of scales that cover their body. Because of their strong muscles, snakes usually crawl with an undulating movement. They push sideways and forward in an S shape. This is called the serpentine movement. The earthworm crawls through the successive contraction of its circular and longitudinal muscles. This is caperistalsis. Climbing. The lynx moves by climbing trees with the help of its strong claws that enable it to climb easily. Another animal that moves by climbing trees and jumping between them is the red squirrel, which is characterized by its fingers and long claws that enable it to climb. The squirrel also has strong back feet that help it push its body during jumping, and the hairy tail acts as a guiding rudder and a parachute that helps it to descend to the ground in a safe manner. Running. Many animals move around by running, examples of which are predators that run to catch prey. Jumping. Some animals that have long hind legs jump, including the American grasshopper, the hare, and the frog. Tunnel digging. Some animals move under the soil by digging tunnels. These include the mole, which has strong claws and shovel-like front limbs to facilitate the digging process.